Some flags are obvious: stripes, stars, circles, easy to name, easy to forget. But some hide stories that only reveal themselves when you look twice. Let's decode the flags that look confusing, but tell everything. Nepal. It refuses to fit inside a box, literally. Nepal's flag is the only one on Earth that isn't a rectangle. Two red triangles stacked like a mountain peak. To most people, it looks jagged and odd. To Nepalis, it's balance. The nation's twin faiths, Hinduism and Buddhism, standing side by side. The crimson means victory and bravery. The blue border, peace and harmony. Simple enough. But then comes the twist. Nepal's flag isn't drawn, it's calculated. Inside the nation's constitution are exact geometric instructions, line by line, ratio by ratio, describing how to recreate it with mathematical precision. It's an equation. The moon and the sun that sit inside the triangles are more than ornaments. They're a promise. Old scholars said Nepal would stand as long as the sun and moon endure, so every time it flies, it's eternity made visible. Mozambique, green, black, yellow, and red, colors of Africa and revolution. But then you see it, the rifle, an AK-47 crossed with a hoe and a book. No other flag in the world carries a modern firearm. To outsiders, it looks violent, an image of war. To Mozambicans, it's their story. The gun isn't aggression, it's vigilance. The hoe means hard work. The book means knowledge. Together, they represent how independence was won by labor, learning, and defense. Adopted in 1983, it's been controversial ever since. Critics abroad say a weapon shouldn't appear on a national flag, but veterans say removing it would erase the cost of their freedom. Each color has a chapter: green for land, yellow for minerals, black for the people, white for peace, and red for the blood spilled for independence. It says, peace exists because someone protected it. A design born from war, still teaching balance between education, work, and courage. Mexico. An eagle devouring a snake while standing on a cactus. It's dramatic, ancient, and instantly recognizable. But it's not a fantasy, and it's not religious symbolism. It's prophecy. According to Aztec legend, the gods told their people to build a city where they saw an eagle eating a serpent atop a cactus. They found that sign on a small island in Lake Texcoco. That island became Tenochtitlan, today's Mexico City. When Mexico gained independence, it adopted the same image as the heart of its flag. The emblem at the center is older than the country itself, a myth turned into a map. Every time the flag waves, it's retelling how a civilization found its destiny and how a legend became a capital. Bhutan. Half yellow, half orange. A white dragon stretches across the diagonal divide, claws gripping jewels, mouth open in a silent roar. It looks mythical, almost like a fantasy banner. But in Bhutan, the dragon is real, at least in spirit. The creature is the Druk, the thunder dragon, and it gives the country its name, Druk Yul, land of the thunder dragon. Yellow represents the king and the kingdom's civil tradition. Orange stands for Buddhism, the country's spiritual core. The jewels in the dragon's claws symbolize prosperity. The dragon's roar, according to legend, echoes as thunder through the Himalayas. Every storm, every roll of clouds is a reminder of protection. The dragon guards both the throne and the temple. In a region where neighbors wave rectangles of color, Bhutan's flag feels alive, half religion, half royalty, breathing across the wind. Brazil. At first glance, Brazil's flag looks simple. Green for the rainforest, yellow for gold, blue for the sky. But inside that blue circle is a secret few ever notice. Those 27 stars aren't random. They form the exact night sky above Rio de Janeiro at 8:30 a.m. on November 15, 1889, the moment the Republic was declared. Each star represents a state, arranged precisely as seen from space, not from the ground. That single inversion, looking down from the heavens, was deliberate, meant to symbolize divine witness to a new nation. Across the blue globe runs a white band with the words Ordem e Progresso, order and progress. It comes from the 19th century philosopher Auguste Comte's motto: love as a principle, order as the basis, progress as the goal. Brazil kept the logic, dropped the love, and stitched the rest into silk. Cyprus, white, gold, green, peaceful at first glance, until you realize it's one of the few maps on Earth that lies. The flag of Cyprus shows the whole island in copper gold, a tribute to its ancient mines and name, Kypros, land of copper. Beneath it, two olive branches promise peace between Greek and Turkish Cypriots. When the flag was born in 1960, that peace seemed possible. One island, two peoples, one design. Then 1974 came. War, division. The North declared itself independent. The South stayed the Republic of Cyprus. Today, half the island flies this flag, half flies another. Yet the design still insists on unity. The branches mean harmony, but the map reminds everyone of a line that splits the island like a scar. A flag meant to heal now marks the wound. Geography as irony, cartography that refuses to admit the truth. Saudi Arabia, a flag that never bows. A deep green field. White Arabic calligraphy, a straight sword below it. It's one of the most recognizable flags on Earth, and one of the least understood. The text is the Shahada. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. It's the declaration of faith for 1.8 billion Muslims. A creed, not a slogan. That's why the Saudi flag never lowers. Not for funerals, not for mourning, not for half-mast tributes. You can't drop sacred words halfway down a pole. The sword beneath the script isn't about conquest, it's about justice, the instrument of law and protection. Its direction, pointing from hoist to fly, symbolizes determination, not violence. Green recalls the Prophet's banner, white stands for purity. Because it carries God's name, the flag can't touch the ground, can't wrap around objects, can't appear on merchandise. To mishandle it would be sacrilege. The only flag that flies by conviction alone, Wales. It roars from a white and green field, a crimson dragon twisting mid-flight. To the untrained eye, it looks like fantasy art. To Wales, it's ancestry alive. The Y Draig Goch, the red dragon, first appeared on Roman military banners brought to Britain nearly 2,000 years ago. When Rome fell, Welsh kings adopted it as a symbol of defiance, a creature that refused to yield to invaders. By the time England formed its empire, the dragon had already flown for centuries. Green stands for the valleys, white for peace, red for resilience. When the Union Jack was created, Wales wasn't represented. Its identity folded under England. So the dragon remained the Welsh flag alone, older than the Union that overshadowed it. To this day, the flag feels alive. It doesn't describe power, it performs it, a roar woven in fabric. Myth, memory, and pride breathing fire over green hills. Kazakhstan, a blue so vast it feels like air itself, a golden sun with 32 rays, and beneath it, a soaring eagle. The side border, a golden ribbon of Koshka Muiz, the ram's horn pattern, ties it to nomadic art older than cities. Every symbol carries centuries of steppe history. Blue means more than peace. It's the color of the Tengri sky, sacred to Turkic peoples. The same heaven that watched their ancestors roam. The eagle isn't decoration, it's the spirit of independence, hovering over open land. The sun's rays, shaped like grains, represent life drawn from harvest. Adopted in 1992 after the fall of the Soviet Union, the flag was a clean break. No red, no hammer, no star, just the sky itself. A country starting fresh, literally under heaven. To outsiders, it's minimalism. To Kazakhs, it's worldview. The entire flag is one scene, morning on the steppe, blue air, golden light, and freedom rising with the eagle. It's the calmest revolution ever sown. Sri Lanka, a lion with a sword, fierce, regal, impossible to forget. But around that lion hides philosophy, not ferocity. The maroon field behind it represents the Sinhalese heritage. The lion's sword stands for justice and courage. The yellow border, unity. On its right, two vertical panels, saffron for Buddhism, green for Hindu and Muslim communities. And in the four corners, leaves. Not random leaves, but bow leaves, sacred to Buddhism, taken from the tree under which the Buddha reached enlightenment. Each leaf embodies a virtue, love, compassion, equanimity, and joy. Many mistake the leaves for ornament, the colors for design. But this is moral architecture. Every shade balances the next. Faith beside justice, tradition beside diversity. Adopted in 1951, modernized after independence, the flag is a code for coexistence. It doesn't say we are strong, it says we must stay balanced. Because even a lion knows, strength means nothing without kindness. Angola, half red, half black. At the center, a yellow emblem, half gear, half machete, crowned with a star. To most people, it looks like the hammer and sickle of a communist flag, but it isn't. It's a different revolution. One born not in Moscow, but in Africa. When Angola won independence in 1975 after centuries of Portuguese rule, the nation was scarred, divided, and rebuilding from nothing. The flag captured that contradiction perfectly. The red stands for blood, shed in struggle, in sacrifice, in survival. The black for the African continent itself, not as darkness, but as identity. Then comes the emblem. The gear represents the industrial workers, the machete, the farmers, the two forces that kept the country alive through colonialism and war. And the star above them? That's not communism, it's hope, a nod to freedom, progress, and unity. It's easy to mistake the symbol for a political ideology, but Angola's flag is about balance, labor and land, steel and soil, revolution not for control, but for self-definition. In one image, it tells the story of a nation still sharpening itself, turning its tools, not weapons, toward the future. And maybe that's the beauty of it, a flag that looks like war but really means work. Belize. At first glance, Belize's flag feels crowded. Red, blue, a circular emblem with a tree, tools, and two men? Yes, two human figures. The only national flag in the entire United Nations to feature actual people. It's a design born from labor, trade, and the sea. Long before Belize became independent in 1981, it was a British logging colony called British Honduras. Its economy survived on mahogany, the red tree at the center of the flag. That tree wasn't chosen for beauty. It built ships, furniture, homes, and wealth. The two men standing beside it, one lighter-skinned, one darker, represent the mixed heritage of the nation's people, descended from Africans and Europeans. Each holds a tool, an axe, and a paddle. Laborers of land and water. Above them, a scroll reads, Sub umbra floreo. Under the shade I flourish. The mahogany tree becomes metaphor. Under protection, under unity, the people grow. The red and blue bands around the edges, they represent the two major political parties at independence, a gesture of inclusion, even in opposition. It's one of the busiest flags in existence, yet every detail matters. Each line tells you who built Belize and how. And that's what confuses people. Most flags simplify. Belize refuses. It's complexity turned into courage. A flag that says, we remember everything. Cambodia. 3 bands of color, blue, red, blue. In the center, a white temple with 5 towers rising like stone flames. It's not fantasy, it's Angkor Wat, one of the world's great wonders and the only real building on any national flag. To most outsiders, it's just an ancient monument. To Cambodians, it's the heart of their identity, the proof that they built greatness long before modern borders. Angkor Wat was constructed in the 12th century during the Khmer Empire, when Cambodia was a vast, powerful civilization that stretched across Southeast Asia. Its symmetry mirrors the universe. Its towers represent Mount Meru, the sacred mountain in Hindu and Buddhist cosmology. In stone, it tells both spiritual and cosmic stories, heaven carved into earth. So when modern Cambodia needed a flag, there was no debate. The temple became the emblem. It wasn't a symbol of religion or politics, it was a declaration of endurance. And yet, this flag hides a quiet tragedy. Through decades of war, genocide, and occupation, Angkor Wat was looted, shot at, and nearly forgotten. But even in those years, the flag never abandoned it. The temple stood on fabric even when it was in ruins on land. That's why this design feels eternal, not just because it shows a monument, but because it is one. It's not a flag that waves, it's one that prays. If you've just learned something new, look closer the next time a flag waves. It might be telling a story the world forgot to hear.